What is going on, everybody? It is Alex coming back at you with another video, and today it's time for round three of the What I Would Do mock draft. So thank you guys for watching this whole thing. If you guys are new, feel free to watch the first two rounds just to see what I would do and it kind of reflects my board and all, which doesn't always get to happen when we do the normal realistic mock drafts. Of course, look at the links down in the description for the Discord because we're going to be doing a fan mock in the coming week/month. So feel free to become a part of the community because it's awesome. Over 120 people are in there. So we got a booming community. Big fan of what's going on there. So thank you guys for making that happen. Of course, feel free to join the community here on YouTube as well with liking, commenting, and subscribing. Let's kick into it. Number 65, Jacksonville Jaguars. If they are here, Boye Mafe certainly is a guy who I would like to have on my roster. You got Zachary Carter, who I think would be a stud as well. We just got to do a quick little inventory check, of course, as I like to say, to see who is available. Kirby Joseph should be in this conversation as well. I really like him. So he's going to be taken soon, but I very well might go Boye Mafe as just a guy who he's a freak athlete. He's not above Drake Jackson on my list, but just the athleticism is ridiculous. I know we need a wide receiver though. And John Mechie is here along Calvin Austin. We don't really need anybody to be kind of like one of those gadget players. I think that Laviska Shenault is good enough for that. I would kind of like to send Isaiah Likely here. I'm just not as high on him anymore, and I just think the second round pick should probably address that. John Mechie should be probably taken around this range, though. He's such a good route runner, but it's not a true X, and I'm really hoping they bring back DJ Shark. I really hope that he can come back because I'm going to take Boye here. So if I'm not mistaken, who did y'all take? Did you guys take? You took an interior defensive lineman. Oh, it was DeMarvin Leal. So actually, I'm hoping you can use him outside. So we might actually go the wide receiver route. So see, this is exactly why I always check in on it. So somebody said if I can go into the my picks category, you can select a team. I don't think that's possible, guys. Just gonna be honest, just to show you guys that we can't do it, but that's okay. We already got kind of our edge of the future. I'm actually going to take a shot on John Mechie, good separator, somebody that might actually play a pretty good role in this team, could play slot or boundary, and that's going to be a big plus, especially now that you got Laviska, who's more of a gadget player, and then hopefully DJ Shark, who can be a good deep threat. John Mechie certainly is not someone to be trampled with. I have David Bell probably not going to be drafted in this. 66 with the Lions, so at this point, I would definitely consider Desi, but I know linebacker is such a big need, and I have some guys who I really like. One of them being Christian Harris. I think that he's a phenomenal linebacker. He just has a lot of holes in this game. And for a team with, again, the bar is so low for linebacker, it's a perfect spot for him to come in and perform. And even if he has some slip-ups, it's not going to be something that's absolutely detrimental to the team compared to what they could have had. So I'm a big fan of what Christian Harris could be. I think that he's going to provide a high ceiling, and this is, again, a team where you can take time to develop because the linebacker room does not, well, it needs a lot of help, but it's a room that can definitely take time to develop a prospect into a good impact player. Now for the Giants, I see that we went linebacker, edge, and offensive as well as center. I'm pretty sure that we went in our first pick to Tyler Linderbaum and KT. Oh, goddamn. I would definitely be looking at Abraham Lucas here. He's going to be a day one starting tackle in the NFL. Very good for plug and play, and his size is ridiculous. I would definitely be considering him here. Desi Ritter, to me, might be this pick. Bailey Zappi certainly should be among them, but Desmond actually has a stronger arm. So I've gotten a lot higher on Desmond Ritter as well. I think he can command a team. His accuracy got a lot better during the Senior Bowl. Not good, better. So he's going to be jumping my board a little bit. And I think, oh man, that's a tough one. That is tough. Where's the second pick? It's all the way over there. Yeah, I'd much rather go after Max Mitchell with that next pick and lose out on Abe Lucas than lose out on Desi. I'm just going to be honest. I'm going to go Desmond Ritter here. And again, this is not what I think the teams would do. It's what I would do. I'd give Desmond Ritter a shot. I don't think he's that much worse than Daniel Jones. And if he is, it's a third round pick. Number 68 for the Texans. So this is another team where I probably would have considered taking Desmond Ritter. I would have actually considered going after Calvin Austin here. Big fan of him. I do love his potential in this league. at the same time, I have some really good edge players who I even have second round grades on, y'all. I'm going to go Drake Jackson out of USC. He's like fallen to everybody's board. I mean, Boye Mafe might be the higher ceiling guy, but Drake Jackson should be taken. I mean, I do have a second round grade on him. Everybody said I was like terribly low on him at the start of the year. It's because I barely put him in my firsts, and everybody's like, "Damn, you're such a hater." All of a sudden, people aren't even putting him in their top 70s overall. Like, that is rough, and that's coming from me, who used to be a Drake Jackson a hater. Now I'm just like in the middle somehow, and my opinion on Drake Jackson hasn't changed. Talented dude, needs to be more consistent, and can provide a lot to a team that's not really expecting much. So a team like the Texans could definitely use someone who has a high ceiling like that. Jets, at this point, I would look at a corner, but I'm not actually a huge fan of any of these guys on the board right now. Just gonna be straight up honest. Jermaine Waller might be the next guy I take. Mario Goodrich should be in that category, and Nehemiah Pritchett as well. But same thing with Kobe. Just, I don't know. I'm not really a huge fan of him. So I'm going to go with a linebacker safety hybrid and Brandon Smith out of Penn State. I think that he has some very big flaws in his game, but on a team like the Jets, where again, you have that low floor, so you don't need to really worry about Brandon Smith being worse than what you already have. You also could use him as a safety because he did play a row for roll for quite a while. This last year transitioned to pure linebacker, did a pretty good job. Just, he has potentially 4.3 speed, and he won't be here in the draft. I'm just going to be 100% honest with you guys. But again, on my board, he just isn't good enough. So next guy I might take is Troy Anderson for like a certain team, by the way. But at number 70, this squad, I mean, we took John Mechie? Okay, we did. So we got DeMarvin Leal. That's such a tough one. I still might even go to the inside, Fedarian Mathis. Just that I put myself in a tough situation when I drafted someone of DeMarvin Leal's talent level. But at this point, I might even still go wider, like a wide receiver style, like Isaiah Likely, just to give a really good weapon. I mean, he's worth a third round pick according to my grading system, and it makes sense. So we're going to do it. We're going to go Isaiah Likely. Again, he and Greg Dulcich are the next ones, and Jalen Weidermeyer too. I like Jalen Weidermeyer. Just, it's not a very good tight end class, and we haven't had many of them. And then next year's is somehow going to be God tier. It just is what it is. For the Bears, though, who's still available in the interior? Darian Kinnard's a tackle only in my books. Dylan Parham might actually not be a bad choice. Ed Ingram, Jamari Sawyer can play guard or tackle. At this point, I might go Jamari Sawyer because I think James Daniels is going to leave. But corner, again, I'm just trying to find somebody. Mikael Wright actually was not at the Senior Bowl. It was apparently Verone McKinley, who looked terrible. Of course, why would you put a safety in one-on-ones? But yeah, he looked crap. I don't know why they're saying tackle's a need, because Larry Borum actually played really well, and he's super young. I like Abe Lucas's team anyways, but I'm actually going to go Jamari Sawyer here. Again, he can fill in for injuries, which has been a big issue with Tevin Jenkins in his past, why he fell, according to my buddy RJ. But, you know, I think that Jamari is going to be, he'd be a good addition to this team. Certainly. I don't think that it's bad to invest in the offensive line at all, especially since that left guard spot is going to be out of here. Jamari can definitely play that, can play tackle if need be. Number 72 with the Seahawks. This is going to probably be Boye Mafe. I have him going there in the second usually. Josh Pascal is so good, though. On the interior, Josh Pascal is going to be a freak. I just need to find a team. It might even be the Falcons that I might do it for. Number 73. Can somebody from Washington Commanders, can y'all like tell me why I keep saying you need wide receiver? I'm not mistaken, you have De'Ami Brown there. You even have, I think that Carter guy is up for a contract. Like, I'm naming the non-listed people like Terry McLaurin and Curtis Samuel. I don't get why you have to go after another wide receiver. It kind of baffles me, to be honest. Corner as well, if you guys could help me out with that. But linebacker, you got Quay Walker here, who could be actually a really good addition to this team. Same thing with Damone Clark. I like Damone a lot. And, I mean, Troy Anderson's not going to be the guy who I'd draft for this team for that role. Damone Clark might be. Jack Sanborn's a true Mike, though. Ooh, I like him a lot. I'm going to go Jack Sanborn here. It might drive you all crazy, but I do think that people are starting to sleep on Jack. Like, the guy is insane. He's about 240 pounds at 6'2". And he did a very good job pairing up with Leo Chenal. And he's good in the run game, if I'm not mistaken. Haven't done my deep dive on him, but you can kind of, I got the hint from all the Wisconsin games I watched, as well as watching his buddy right next to him, that Jack Sanborn's a stud. Number 74 for the Falcons. This is going to be Josh Pascal out of Kentucky. I think Cam Thomas is not going to go that high. I really don't think so. He has not shown enough to me, and he also got injured during the Senior Bowl, so he didn't get to show it against anybody. And this edge class is so good. So he's either going to go really high or else he's going to fall really low. I don't think there's much in between. Number 75, this should be a linebacker or offensive tackle, and I'm going to go right tackle all day. Abraham Lucas, day one starter. Sorry, Giants fans. It is what it is. Yeah, I would 100% do that. With the Ravens, which edge? We went Karlaftis for them. And then we also went an offensive tackle. Who did we go for him? So we went Nicholas Petit-Frere. Oh, interesting. I mean, again, probably the best player on the board at the time. I would consider Andrew Stuber here to be on your interior offensive line, but I'd probably do it as like a 5th or 6th round pick. So right now, I would definitely consider still someone like Zachary Carter to be on the outside. The guy's phenomenal, insane athlete for being 285 pounds. It's just, I love Zachary Carter, but I do know corner Mario Goodrich could be probably the guy who could be the steal at this point. I might have to go that route. It's him or Zachary Carter. And I think that going after another corner who's developmental is probably the best idea. Mario Goodrich out of Clemson, not too shabby. So number 77, you got the Minnesota Vikings. And this is going to be Kirby Joseph. I love Kirby Joseph to death. So I think that him going here is honestly an undersell. The guy just did so well in the Senior Bowl. I mean, you just saw high-end plays left, right, and center from him. I love Kirby Joseph, and I think he's going to be a phenomenal player. Number 78, we got the Brownies. And we have went probably Treylon Burks, and we also went Carson Strong. That's a hot one. But at this point, I might even want to go with Zachary Carter or Fedarian Mathis. I mean, Zachary Carter can actually play on the outside, which is going to be insane. He's going to be used as an edge rusher, but he's played at every single defensive line position. And I think that he could just legitimately be a stud as a defensive end. Zachary Carter, lock it in. At this spot, Chargers fans, get out of my DMs. I think that going Fedarian Mathis would be a great choice. Oh, man, I accidentally commented. I thought that we went corner for the Chargers, so I accidentally commented on that. Reason I went with Majai is because he's insane value. I have a 1st-round grade on him versus defensive lineman that I have interior defensive lineman that I have 2nd rounders. So apologies about that one. Number 80, we got the good old Texans again. And this is where I could see someone like Isaiah Spiller going. I have a 3rd round grade on him and probably an early 3rd, but he's a good fit. I would personally want him on my team. The Giants are back on the board though. I mean, honestly, at this point, I might even go Jalen Weidermeyer, really good receiving tight end. Greg Dulcich deserves to be in this category as well. I'm going to go Jalen because, I mean, he graded just below, I think, he actually graded just about where Isaiah likely was, but he actually performed a lot better in my eyes. He just, again, grading scales don't mean jack shit, but I love Jalen Weidermeyer, especially to this team. I think it's good value. Number 82, if I am the GM of the Colts, sign me up for Wan'Dale Robinson all day. I mean, he's just 2 years younger than Calvin Austin, so I'm going to be doing that one. For the Eagles, we got Drake London already. I would even consider going after Calvin Austin at this point. I love Calvin Austin, but we're not going to do that. Instead, we're going to go after Nick Cross out of Maryland. Just a guy who's a freaky athlete. I would love for him to go to the Eagles. Again, it's not a franchise where they're going to be expecting you to be a Hall of Famer day one. Again, you're going to be losing Anthony Harrison. The guy below you is not going to be performing nearly as well. And a guy like Nick Cross has potential to just be absolutely dominant. So I do like it. For the Steelers, oh, this is interesting. At this point, Logan Hall might be the guy I go after. I think that'd be a fun interior defensive lineman to have. And he could also offer a lot in the pass rush game. That probably is going to be the route I go. But we could go after someone like Calvin Austin, who's fun, like that Ray McLeod replacement. Linebacker wouldn't be too shabby either. Troy Anderson certainly could be in this category. It's a tough one because I really want to continue going offensive line, but I can't. So it's now between Calvin Austin and Logan Hall here. And I think that if I were in this situation, I'd go Logan Hall. Just see what happens. Have him be trained up by Cam Hayward and just see what can happen there. Even if he might actually extend the longevity of Cam Hayward's career if he actually ends up being a really good edge rusher. Number 85, if I am the New England Patriots, look at the depth of this linebacker class. I might be going Troy Anderson, but I want someone a little bit larger. Damone Clark out of LSU. He's a very good linebacker. The only reason he's falling is because good players fall. That's what happens, and that's okay. Number 86, the Raiders. If I were the Raiders, I would still be looking for a linebacker too. But wide receiver, if Calvin Austin's on the board, I'm going in all day, every day. I mean, I have Calvin Austin as, I think, a late second, early third. So we'll see about that, especially when I do my deep dive on him. Yeah, bottom line, all 22 guy has not been doing too hot on the production side. Number 87 for the Cardinals. I think that this should probably be a running back. If Kenneth Walker's here, I'm taking Kenneth Walker. Just again, he's a 3-down running back, and that's a big plus for a team like the Cards. And I think that a lot of people love him. He had some flashes of Le'Veon Bell in him, and that was pretty exciting for me. So I need to redo my my eval on Kenneth and just watch a little bit more. But it is the way it is. Kenneth Walker is he is a very good running back, and you guys are kind of stealing him right there. 88 with the Cowboys. Too bad that we can't get a wide receiver like Calvin Austin at this point, right? I would consider David Bell. I just don't like him. I really don't. I mean, other guys, I don't think anybody else really, maybe even DJ Matthews. That's a guy I really need to dive deep on. And where's the kid out of Sampson State? I tried to find him last time and he wasn't here, which is really, I think his name's Montrell Washington, and he's not in here. So that sucks, but that's okay. He's really good. You guys should check him out. Versus Florida, he put up like 124 and 2 touchdowns. Guy's ridiculous. But if I am the Dallas Cowboys, I would be looking on the interior of the defensive line. So Cam Thomas could be somebody in that category. At this point, offensive line might be the best bet, though. So Darian Kinnard's still here. I'm not going to use him as a guard ever. I'm going to go Ed Ingram out of LSU. I just think he's a nasty blocker, and he's just going to be a perfect fit for where Connor Williams is going to be. Bye-bye. Number 89 for the Bills. Well, this is actually quite a toughie. I would definitely look at wide receiver. Like Alec Pierce would be somebody who I'd be okay with at this point. I don't really vibe with it. Offensive line should be where this pick is, and there's just nobody here where I'm comfortable with it. We could go linebacker. If I'm not mistaken, I thought linebacker was a need. I might be bugging. Even another corner. Man, this is actually quite a tough one. If we're gonna be honest, it's actually really tough. But you know what? At this point, I might just take Darian Kinnard and just say, hey, we're going to stuff you in at guard and see what happens. But you know what? We're going to go Alec Lindstrom here out of Boston College. Guy who can play center or guard. He's kind of your Zion Johnson of the 3rd round. I do think he's worth a 3rd round pick. So it works with my board. Number 90, if I am the Titans, I'm going Darian Kinnard all day. He's going to be a tackle. So I'm going to take the chance on him. Works really well with this blocking scheme. If I'm not mistaken, someone pointed that out too. So shout out to you. You can shout yourself out down in the comment section below. Number 91, if I am the Buccaneers, I think that running back would have been a good choice, but I don't think anybody's worth it. I'm just going to be honest. Even James Cook, I don't think he's worth the pick. Like looking at the guys on the board, I just want to go best player available, and it might be linebacker. It might be. But we could go after Cam Thomas to be that edge rusher to replace Will Golston. And I think that's something that I want to do. He has a lot of potential, and I'm not going to disrespect him anymore. So Cam Thomas to the Buccaneers. 92 with the Packers. So with this one, I'm not going to go quarterback. I am surprised to see that TDN is high on Skylar Thompson as well, because I really do like Skylar Thompson. But at this point, wide receivers should be on their list. And I might just go after David Bell. I don't really like him at all. So I think I might just go a linebacker here who has a lot of potential, like Troy Anderson, and just see what sticks. So I'm going to do it because the guy deserves a lot of potential. He deserves a lot of attention. Love Troy Anderson. The guy's an absolute stud. Number 93 with the Niners. This should be probably like Khalil Shakir or something like that. That being said, I don't know if I actually want to go that route. If I'm the Niners, I want to just get the best value for every single one of my picks. So I actually might go with the boundary corner here. And I might just say, screw it. I'm going to go with Darion Kendrick. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. Darion Kendrick is where he falls. Just what happens. Number 94 with the Chiefs. At this point, anybody's going to work well with this scheme. So screw it. David Bell. Just write it in. Number 95 with the Bengals. I think that if I am in their position, I'm looking at Greg Dulcich and I'm getting very happy because I want another weapon for my quarterback, Joe Burrow. And Greg Dulcich is easily worth that pick. 96, if I am the GM/owner of the Denver Broncos, I'm going linebacker all day. There's still some studs on the board. Quay Walker, Darian Beavers, and I'm going to go Darian Beavers. I think that he's going to be an Alexander Johnson replacement. Very solid linebacker. Losing 3 linebackers this year to free agency is not going to be too fun. 97, if I am the Detroit Lions, I'm going to be going Bailey Zappi here out of Western Kentucky. Just, it's worth taking a shot on. I think that he is better than the guys drafted before him, but his potential is just not there yet. He has a great ball, but when I just see the ball just die, I get a little bit worried about you being an NFL starter. But on a team like this, I think you can actually be pretty damn good. Number 98 with the Brownies. I think this should also be a linebacker, and Quay Walker is here. Let's see if anybody else deserves some love. And nothing over Quay Walker. JoJo Domann would be fun, but Quay Walker out of Georgia is going to be the pick. A guy who's going to be in that 240-pound range. Definitely should be taken here. So next we got number 99, and I'm forgetting yet. There's Channing Tindall. Oh man, this pick's going to be tough. Because I think we could go offensive line here with Dylan Parham and see what the hell happens. Guy put on 30 pounds to be 315. You could also go Thayer Mumford as well. I wouldn't. So Dylan Parham, I don't want to go Dylan Parham. I literally turned off his tape and said he was a UDFA the moment I started watching him. So, I mean, this is just a really weird spot because I'm not a huge fan of anybody for this team. I might even just go Nick Bonito, though. I literally just might say, let's go Nick Bonito. He'd be such a good fit for this team, too. Just put him on the outside, see what happens. We're going to do it. I don't even care. We're going Nick Bonito. Guy deserves – he's a early to mid-third on mine. And in the right scheme, he's worth a second-round pick. 100, if I am commanding the good old Saints, I am going to be looking at a wide receiver. Alec Pierce actually has done a phenomenal job over his career. Somebody who I'd probably take. Justin Ross deserves to be in there as well, though. Again, barring his neck injury or his spinal injury, this guy was supposed to be a top 10 pick. I'd just take the shot on him. So let's go Justin Ross out of Clemson. 101 for the Dolphinos. I think that this, if I am sitting here and I'm them, I mean, tight end would have been nice, right? But Jake Ferguson's the next guy on my list. And I think, honestly, I could really see him being in this team. But you could even see another linebacker like JoJo Domann play that slot. It's a really weird spot to be because offensive tackle, no one's going to be able to start, and you kind of need that. Edge-wise, you could get somebody on the outside. Michael Clemens could be somebody who I sneak into this third, but I'm not going to do that. This is where I would trade out normally. That's just the way it is. I like to trade out of spots where I don't feel comfortable, and this is one where I don't. But someone like James Cook might just be worth it. But Dameon Pierce, ooh. And Zamir White, yes. So we're going to go Dameon Pierce here. He's a guy who could definitely maximize his potential here for a year or two, especially with next year being like the running back class. Getting a guy in the third round to actually keep your team afloat, probably a good idea. 102 with the Chiefs, back again. I think that going safety wouldn't be too shabby, and I'm going to go Wanye Thomas out of Georgia Tech. Guy has just been, like, in the East-West Shrine Bowl, the guy just lit it up. Big fan of what he can bring to the table. Also, a lot of 100-yard returns for touchdowns. Just the guy's a goal line beast. 103, if I am the Rams, I should invest in the offensive line. So Spencer Burford might be a dude who I bring in as an interior offensive lineman that can move outside. But Donovan West is a guy who's more of a day 3 type of dude to me. Like, Oh man, this is a tough one because I really do want to go Spencer Burford here. I just don't think he's that good. Oh, so I'm actually going to be starting to look on this side. I might go Jesse Luketa, who's a linebacker edge hybrid. Channing Tindall as well, another really good linebacker out of Georgia. But JoJo Doman, if I'm not mistaken, I don't know who's in the slot right now for the Rams, but he plays like a slot. He plays a rover role. And I think that he could be really good at protecting and coverage. And again, that's not really the division to do so, but he's obviously, in my opinion, the best player on the board. So we're just going to go with that. So that's going to be the draft, guys. Let me know what you guys think. One, thank you guys so much for watching. See you on the far side. Peace.